Welcome to video 2 of the Instructional Video Production Tutorial. In this video, we will learn how to edit audio using Camtasia. As always, feel free to pause the video and repeat any of the instruction given. Let's start by finding and clicking on our Camtasia Studio 7 icon on your desktop. If you cannot find Camtasia, look in your Start menu under All Programs. Camtasia will take a few seconds to initialize and load. Once the screen loads, you will be prompted by a welcome screen. You will want to close this screen. This is Camtasia Studio 7. Camtasia is very similar to other screen capture or video editing softwares. Here you have the multimedia window. You also have the playback window and finally the editing timeline. Let's find and import your audio file and then learn how to appropriately edit it. Click on the Import Media button. From here, find the location of your audio file and double-click on it. You will see that your file has been placed as a blue speaker icon in your media window, otherwise known as the clipboard. To place the audio file on the timeline, click and drag it to the timeline until you can see that the timeline has turned a faint yellow or pale color. When you see this faint yellowish color, release the mouse button. You will see that you have now placed your audio on the timeline. Please, during this process, remember to frequently save your work. Do this by clicking on the File drop-down menu and then click on Save. Choose a destination that you have determined, which should be a place that can be easily found. The audio file that we have pre-recorded usually records at a lower volume than normal, so we are going to have to first raise the volume of the audio segment until it is at a volume that is loud enough to deliver our instruction meaningfully. It is important to raise the volume of the entire audio segment as a whole, because after you have segmented the audio, it becomes harder to raise and lower the volume of each segment. You want to select the audio by double-clicking on it. Simultaneously, you will also see that you have opened the audio control into the media window. With the audio selected, denoted by the green, you will continuously click on the Volume Up button until your audio is at a level of your liking. You will also notice that the audio is changing with every click of the Volume Up button. To test your audio volume, turn your headphone or speaker volume to a high level, and then play the audio by pressing the spacebar. You will hear the audio play. If the audio is at a volume that is good for you, you are finished adjusting the volume. If not, continue to raise the volume as we have been doing. If you have your volume at a level that sounds good to you, we are going to learn how to edit the mistakes and errors from your audio. Start by playing your audio. When you get to a point that you would like to make an adjustment, stop the marker by clicking on the spacebar. You should see the marker stop at the point where you have pressed the spacebar. You want to continue to use this technique throughout the duration of your production. If you want to edit that particular point of your audio, place the marker at the point that you would like to edit the audio, and then press the S key. Pressing S will place a split at that particular point. You will then want to find the ending point of the mistake. Place the marker at this point, and then once again press S. You will notice that you have now created a segment. If you would like to delete this segment, click on it to select it, and then press Delete. You will notice that the audio segment is now gone, and in its place is a blank space. Now, this is an important step in creating audio. You want your entire audio to flow naturally, kind of like a conversation. In every conversation, there are natural pauses. So at this point, we want to create a natural pause that we will be able to recreate throughout our audio. Find a place in your audio that is almost silent. You will notice that the audio that you have recorded is never at a point where you can hear dead silence. We are going to refer to the points that are almost silent as white noise. If you play the audio, you can hear the rhythm that is accurate to the rest of your audio background. Find a place that you have almost silent audio, and place a split at the beginning and end of that spot. Click on the spot to highlight it. Right-click on that spot and then click Copy. We are going to use this audio segment at a place that we want to create a natural pause point. I'm going to show you an example of doing this so you will be able to replicate it throughout your editing process. If we play this section, you can tell it does not sound natural. This is a point where we want to place a natural pause. Now, as we have done before, at the point where you want to place the pause, place splits at the beginning and end of the point that we want to replace. Click on that segment and delete it. Place the marker at the beginning of the space. Right-click. Then select Paste. You will be prompted by a screen issuing that a split needs to be placed on the timeline. Just click OK. You will now see the natural pause segment placed into that space. Lastly, drag the audio portion that sits to the right against the natural pause segment by clicking and dragging on it. Finally, place the marker a second or two before the natural pause segment and press the spacebar to play the file. You can hear that the audio now sounds more natural. You will want to perform this action over and over throughout your audio editing process. If you feel confident in your audio editing skills, save your project and meet me in video number 3.